So this is when I went to the Woodbine Mansion in Round Rock, Texas. Okay, we had just moved to this area and it was right before the pandemic, maybe a year before the pandemic started. And for something to do, I would take my dog to the dog park nearby, and I would always pass this beautiful white, pristine, redone mansion. And I'm like, ooh, it's full of spirits. I just know it. I can feel it. I can feel it. And they want me to come. They want me to come. Every day for months, I would see this. And I'm going, oh my God, I got to get in there. I got to get in there. I knew I was going to get in there one day. I knew it. I could feel it. They wanted me there. I just didn't know how. And I could tell the way they had redone the place that it was for a venue, like weddings and things like that. And they do, if you go on Instagram, or I think they have a website too. Instagram is amazing because there's beautiful images of the parties and weddings and everything that they have there. It's a beautifully redone mansion. Gorgeous. So I realized, I'm like, I'm never going to get in there. It's not like I can, it's not a museum or a private residence. I can't just walk up, hi, you know. So I decided, you know what? I'm never going to get in there unless I ask. That's everything, right? The worst anybody can say to you is no, and then you just move on. So I emailed the owner, and I'm like, you know what? This is who I am. This is what I like to do. There's no point in lying. I mean, I'm just going to say what I'm doing and what I want to do and stuff like that. Completely honest with her, and I'm like, hey, can I come through your mansion and stuff like that? She immediately got back with me, and she's going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Yes, I would love that. Oh my God, I would love that. And she goes, oh, by the way, we have videographers on staff. Is it okay if they follow you around? And I'm like, okay, sure, anything to get inside, okay? I had never done anything with video before because it's just not my thing. I'm not here to become famous. It's just my passion. It's just what I like to do. And which is why, since I've been doing things with cameras, because I wanted to get used to that in case it ever happened again or whatever, you know. So I was like, sure. And plus, she wanted me because I said I would come during the day. All the paranormal groups that have ever contacted her wanted to do it at night, which I get. They work or whatever. But she was not going to come back after hours and do that. So she was thrilled. Because I told her, I'm like, spirit is 24/7. If there's spirit there, they're going to be there regardless. Yeah, I'll come whenever you want me to be there. So she was like, great. So I contacted this paranormal group woman that I had met and asked her if she wanted to do it with me, and she was like, sure. And she had all the equipment, and she was a medium too, I think. And anyway, so she came. I honestly thought I was part of this said group, but found out afterward that no, I wasn't. But that's okay. I'm fine. I'm better on my own, you know. For now, I may find a group. Who knows? So we picked a day and everything, and I was in my bathroom. This never happens, never. In my bathroom, getting ready. This is about as girly as this woman gets, okay? I'm in my bathroom getting ready to go, and I kept feeling this need to go into my closet and get a dress or something, and I'm like, no, I don't do dresses except on very rare occasions. And I'm like, I'm not wearing a dress to paranormal, you know, go check ghosts in the house. And I kept getting this weird feeling to like dress up, do my hair, put heels on, all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, no, I'm not walking around a mansion in its grounds in heels and a dress. I mean, Jesus. So, and it kept pestering me, like this thought. And I finally went, oh my God, I don't think this is me. And so I kind of like tuned in for a moment, and I saw this older lady in my mind, hair done up, very classy, very sophisticated, kind of looked like from the 60s, you know, like I could almost probably see pearls, you know, very done up. And she was the one telling me to dress for her home. She was telling me, she goes, you have to dress up if you come to my house. And this is how it, and I'm going, no, I'm sorry, I haven't. So we're going back and forth politely. She's trying to get me into a dress. I'm saying no. So we're going back and forth, and I'm like, so I compromised and did wedges. That was the dumbest thing ever. I can't believe I did that. Walking around that place in wedges. Oh my God. But she was okay with it, and it made her happy, so it made me happy. So I knew she was some sort of previous owner. She didn't she gave me a name at the time, and I don't remember the name. She gave me a first name, and I'm like, all right, you know, so I thought that was her name, because I don't do any research. If you watch any of my videos, I don't research anything, because it messes with what I get, because subconsciously I know that information, so I'm kind of like, it's ruining what I'm getting, so I just choose to purely get whatever comes through, and it always makes sense in the end. I don't understand, but it does. So I tell my other paranormal friend that, and she's laughing hysterically. I go, I've never been dressed by the spirit of a place that I'm going beforehand. That, again, something new every time. It's funny. It really is funny. And then, so we get there, and I tell the new living owner this, and she goes, oh my God, yes, that's her. That's her. I heard all about this lady. She had died a couple years prior to her buying this, so we probably missed her by maybe 5-10 years. I missed her. She lived to a really old age, and this woman said, oh my God, she threw parties. She was one of those people that gave to the community. Very elegant, very, you know, women wore dresses and dressed up. It was that kind of a party. She gave to the local theater. She was very into the art scene and all that. And I'm going, okay, all right. So I told her the first name I got, and she goes, nope, that's not her. And I go, now I feel like crap. I'm like, oh, I'm a fraud. Oh, God, I gave her the wrong name. And she's looking at me, and I felt like she was judging me as a fraud, you know? So I'm like, I don't know if that's the name she gave. I don't know. Now I feel horrible. So now they're miking us up and everything, which was like weird. So this guy is following me around. Him, my friend too, but I mean, following me around, which is adding to my pressure of, I got to perform, I got to get this right, and I'm in my head, which is not where you want to be as a psychic. I don't want to be in my head. So we decided to go out to the carriage house first, and what was weird is when we were walking out to the carriage house, the wind picked up, and just the trees were swaying, and I noticed that when I'm outside and I'm really dealing with spirit, wind always comes up. And I said that to the people. I go, did you notice that this wind wasn't here all day? And the video guy's like, yeah, that is strange. I was noticing that too. I was wondering what that was about. So I'm like, yeah, I think it's spirit. I think. So we go there, and we go to the carriage house, and it was beautiful. And as soon as I opened the door, I saw this shadow man run and hide. And I was like, ooh. And he was scared. He went upstairs because I had a staircase going up to an upper level. And Karen, the woman I was there with, the paranormal person, she was like, oh, I saw that too. And I go, okay. So we crept up the stairs because he was frightened. He looked like he was in his 20s, late 1890s, 1910 type of thing. For me, I don't know what Karen got. So I walked up there, and he was huddled in the darkest, farthest away corner going, please go away, go away, go away, go away. And he didn't want us there, and I'm trying to calm him down and try to talk to him, but he didn't want anything to do with us, and I didn't dare get off the stairs. I didn't dare go closer. He was so uncomfortable. So they go, so what's the name? What name are you getting? And I got Sydney. And in my head, I go, I don't know why I got Sydney. I said Sydney. I didn't know that was a name for men back then. I thought I just really effed up for the second time. I was thinking like a woman's name, Sydney, and I was thinking Sydney, Australia. And I wasn't thinking that was actually a used name back then. So I'm in my head going, oh God, I'm just ruining it. This is horrible. This is going horrible, but I got to keep going. So we left Sydney. And we went back into the house, and when I went in the front door, I saw children going up and down the main staircase. When you go in the front door of that place, they shoot a lot of brides on that staircase. So if you go to their Instagram page, you'll see that beautiful staircase. Well, I don't think they were real ghost children, though they could have been. It didn't feel that way. It felt more like residual energy, like I was seeing a moment in time, just playing back and forth. And so I told them that, and God loved that living owner. She didn't give anything away. She just went, and I like that. I mean, it did worry me a little, I'll be honest, but I love the fact that she wasn't giving anything away. She poker faced it. pretty much through this whole thing. So she didn't say anything about the kids. So then I go to, and this for the life of me, since it was a few years ago, I can't remember if it was the room immediately to the left when you come in the front door. I think there's a tiny little room there, but I wasn't getting really much, if anything at all. And I think we went upstairs, and there was a bigger waiting area there with stairs, and there were two gentlemen in there, deceased, nice suits, smoking cigars, you know, just bullshitting, and sorry about that word. And they didn't want us there. Not in a mean get out, but it was kind of like, you're interrupting our flow. You're ruining the vibe of this room. Please go. So, and they didn't want to talk. God knows I tried to get them to talk, and they just didn't want anything to do with it. And I also saw a shadow person during the day in that room, because when we were coming out of a room, we were going back into that room. As soon as I walked through a side room and went into that room, I saw it. I've never seen a shadow person really during the day. Like that doesn't happen very often for me. And it went into the wall. And I went, oh my God, and the camera guy was behind me. I always wondered how those shows do that. Like, how is the camera never focusing where somebody sees something? It happens. I never believed that until it happened to me. He was behind me. He never seemed, I mean, that was the only thing real that I saw that happened, but didn't catch it. And from there, I believe we went to the bedroom that the previous owner had died in, but I didn't know it at the time. I didn't get anything. I didn't get anything in that room. I really didn't. I thought I got a child in that room, which was weird. But they didn't interact with her machine. I forgot the name of that. I'm not very good with the machines and the things and stuff like that. She had dowsing rods. I don't use those things, so it's not my forte. I don't really know that much about it. But we didn't get anything off of that either. But I found out later she died in that room. I can kind of see why I didn't feel her there, because this woman was so full of life and parties and living. Why would she remain in the room she died in? It just, honestly, it hurt me at the time, but the more I think about it, it makes more sense to me. Because where I did feel her was the next room. On the second floor, they have a sunroom that comes off, and as soon as I walked in it was enclosed. It was beautiful. Second floor sunroom. I've never even heard of that before. We walk in, and it was like sunshine and beautifulness and happy. The moment I go, oh, I love this room. This is her room. This is where she likes to hang. And it looked out on the grounds and all the trees, and it was beautiful, beautiful view. And then the new owner was like, oh my God, I love this room too. It's one of my favorites. I go, well, yes. This is her room. This is where she likes to hang. Do you feel it? And she goes, yeah, I do tend to feel happy in this room. I really like it. I go, that could be why. And I told her, I said, she picked you. She loves what you've done. She really did. She loved what this lady has done and kept up the party atmosphere and for weddings and things like that. She loved it. I think she picked this lady to buy this house. And the new lady agreed. She was like, oh yeah. And she wore dresses and she did her hair up. She was exactly what this woman wanted me to dress up like before I got there. It was so funny. I was like, yep, you fit exactly what she was trying to do to me. So no, in a good way. I'm not dogging anybody. So, yeah, so we went from the sunroom, and then we went to the third floor. And in my mind, I always thought third floor of a mansion is where the servants lived, where the servants stayed, their rooms and stuff. So we went up there, and the owner stayed down below. And I walk in this room, and I see this little boy walking around. And so we come in there, and we're filming, and he's like, yeah, this is my room, but, you know. And I'm like, okay. And somebody said, well, what's his name? And I said, I get Tom. And they were like, okay. So we stayed in there for a couple more seconds. You know, we didn't really get much. I mean, we tried to video, but it was an empty room. They weren't using it for anything. That whole third floor wasn't being used for anything yet, so it was just empty. So we go back down, and I told the new owner about the little boy Tom. I go, it's so weird because servants live on the 3rd floor. I don't know who this Tom is. And she goes, actually, no, the 3rd floor was never servants. Nobody ever put servants up there. She goes, that was the owner's son's room, and his name was Tom. She was like, you hit that. She goes, you got that one for sure. You got that. I go, oh my God. Whenever I get something right, it's just like, really? What? That's so cool. I just love that. That is so cool. I did not know that. So let me see. I'm trying to think if there was anything else in that house. There is, when you come in the front door, a big, huge ballroom. It's a big rectangular room, and I think that's where all the receptions and things like that are held. Beautiful party room. Beautiful party room. Like, there are people still dancing and partying up. If they're not real spirits, it's residual energy, and it's nothing but fun, 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 which makes sense that they're putting all their parties in that room. It just kind of like feeds itself. It's beautiful energy. Beautiful. And I have to say, the Woodbine Mansion in Round Rock, Texas, is one of the only places I've ever met where it's happy spirits. Like, they're just there having a good time. The party is continuing in death. I mean, they're just a good time. I usually get to places where there's at least one or two or ones that are grumpy or not, or just lower dimensional. This house didn't have any of that. Except for the scared guy in the carriage. He seemed a little, right, but he wasn't like mean. He was just scared of us. He didn't know who we were. So it's a great mansion. So you can drive by if you're in the area, or definitely check out their images. It's beautiful and stunning. And sometimes she'll put before and after photos. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. She deserves kudos for that place. And they did a Halloween video of our tour around. So if you go back far enough, if it's still on their Instagram page, like Halloween 2019 maybe, you'll see clippets of it, unless they took it down. So yeah, that's my time at the Woodbine Mansion in Round Rock, Texas. And I say it multiple times because I love that place. It's an awesome, awesome place.